Welcome to the June 18th video version of the Wagner Daily. My name is Rick Petticelli, and once a week this video replaces the written commentary portion of our report. Hopefully it serves as a nice change of pace as well as offers some insight as to how we set up our charts and what time frames and indicators we use. Well, first up, we're going to run through a few broad market averages, then cover open positions in the model portfolio, and finally we'll take a look at what setups are potentially in play over the next few days. So first up is the NASDAQ composite, which followed through on Wednesday's bullish reversal off the lows, and it was a solid day of trading for many growth stocks on our watch list. So just positive action there, especially since the way it was looking Wednesday, it could have turned ugly, but the price action reversed after the initial sell-off from the Fed. And for the most part, since the NASDAQ has reclaimed the 20 and 50-day MAs on 524, there's only been really two nasty shakeouts. The one on 6.3, which was a 2% slide off the highs over a few days, and the most recent one, just about 2%. So the current rally looks like it's in pretty good shape in the NASDAQ. In the S&P, and I think the S&P is holding up here because of its weighting, but many of the groups that led the S&P 500 higher earlier this year have been struggling as of late. And this is the S&P 500 with the false breakout to new highs, but still trying to hold on to the 20-day EMA. Also has the 10-week here, so it may just continue to chop around. Who knows? If it hasn't fallen apart yet, maybe it will hold up because several ETFs that led the S&P higher this year have been struggling as of late. We have IYT transports falling apart here below the 50-day MA on a nasty 3-week slide. We have financials on an ugly 2-week slide below the 50 MA. Materials, ugly 2-week sell-off below the 50 MA. Energy sold off this week, still above the 50. And of course the Dow Jones, we have diamonds, 2-week sell-off and break of the 50 down to the prior low. All right, on to open positions in the model portfolio. After a false breakout, well, two of them on 6.9 and on 6.14. LSPD gapped lower and reversed higher. Gap down reversal, beautiful day, and powerful price and volume action here. Just a bullish reversal. On the weekly chart, we see that today's action, or this week's action, clears about 14 weeks of highs. So a very positive sign, and volume this week is already above last week's volume. NVIDIA, we're in from around 662 on the base breakout. It continues to run higher, looks pretty good. INMD, we bought on 614 above the prior day's high, which failed to follow through right away, but did manage to hold on to the 10-day EMA. We're still long, and this was a pretty good sign here as it closed at new highs on a pickup in volume. Always a pretty good sign. SC cleared this prior swing high on a pickup in volume, so that's a positive sign. I think it's still trading just below its all-time high, but looking pretty good. CRWD, we're long from 230 after the price cleared resistance at 228, and it followed through to the upside the past 2 days on heavy volumes, so solid price action there. And almost the same type of deal as LSPD, with this week's price action or last week's taking out 13 weeks of highs. And ZS, which we're long from about 200 over all this resistance here. Pretty strong price and volume action since pushing through 200, so nothing to do there. The trade's in pretty good shape. Also, like LSPD, cleared 12 weeks of highs last week on its breakout attempt. Some stocks to keep an eye on in the short term. We're no longer in RBLX, and nor are we looking to re-enter over the next few days. We feel this downtrend line is a bit too steep, and all the moving averages have turned lower, the shorter term ones at least, and are resistance now. But we definitely keeping this on a watch list. Look for the price action to hold above the 50 or around the 50, and then flatten out with the moving averages catching up to the price action and then flattening out as well. And Path, which had a false breakout to new highs and pulled back. Looks like it's found support at 68, holding the lows of this big reversal on 610 on heavy volume. This is something that could be in play over this short-term downtrend line, so within the next 2 to 3 days. EOSC, and this is more of just a swing. Sharp move off the lows, doubled. Now the price action's chopping around in a pretty tight range. If it can get through Thursday's high, could be good for a quick pop. Crocs moved out to new highs on volume and has struggled since. It has held the 10-day MA the past 2 days, held above the 10 MA on Wednesday, and then on a closing basis on Thursday. Also has held this downtrend line. So price would have to trade back through this 110, 111 area here to trigger an entry. DV is holding up around the 10 and 20 day EMAs after a false breakout. Could be in play on a move through this 2-day high with a stop beneath the 2-day low. And the last chart of the night is Shop, which exploded through resistance past few days on big time volume. If there is no pause in this area, then the base high will serve as the breakout entry. Oh, one more chart, forgot about Snap. It's still yet to take out resistance, but if it can do so on volume, it also could be off to the races. So that's a wrap for tonight's report. Just a quick recap before we go. The NASDAQ composite is in rally mode, and growth stocks are looking pretty good right now. So we just want to remain focused on growth for however long this lasts. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.